Welcome back to On The Money. We have heard time and again that time is money's best friend. The more you have time, the more you can see your money work for you. But how exactly does this happen? Our guest today, Tyrone Charles Solee, started the habit of saving at the age of 21 when he had his first job after graduation. At the age of 26, after 4 years and 7 months of employment, while living below his means and investing in different instruments, he earned his first million, and he's back on the show to talk about the principle and power of compounding. Welcome, Tyrone.
Thanks, Eric.
Let's define it first, even as we see it applied. What exactly is the compounding?
Compound interest is basically the interest of an interest. It's a double-edged sword. So he who understands it earns it, while who doesn't pays it. So it depends on your situation. If you're a saver or an investor, compound interest will multiply your money. But if you are a loan, do you have loans in the bank? So the tendency is, if you left it unpaid, then compound interest will drown you into amounts of
Kill
debt.
you.
Yeah.
Almost. Okay, so it works both ways, no? As a soon-to-be investor, how exactly would this apply in their circumstance? What should they do knowing this principle?
Time is essential in compounding. So you have to start early as you can. So the more time that you have, the better the chances that your money will grow and multiply. Also, taxes and inflation rate should be considered. Taxes and inflation rate are basically the enemies of compounding, while as time is the ally of compounding. So
how are they the enemy?
yeah, taxes are basically diminishes the income from the power of compounding from your income, and inflation rate decreases the value of your money. So if you are to invest, make sure that you have to invest in an investment instrument that beats the inflation rate.
Makes sense. Now, what about fees? Management fees, etc., brokers' fees. Should that be part of the taxes, as you mentioned, that can be killers to compounding?
Yeah. Also, in addition to taxes and inflation rate, you have to consider the management fees. So if you are to invest on a longer term, make sure that you choose the investment instrument that has the lowest management fees.
Okay, so as a soon-to-be investor, that's the perspective. When they ask, and you'll hear this a lot from people who are thinking about investing, when's the best time to invest?
The best time to invest is definitely now, because as the time value of money states, that the value of money today is definitely more as compared to the time to the value of money tomorrow.
And is it correct to say it's not necessarily dependent on the market performance per se? It is the principle of starting as early as possible. Is that correct?
Yes, that's the power of compounding.
Great. So that's a soon-to-be. Let's talk about newbie investors. How does this principle of compounding now affect them?
Okay. Newbie investors, they can take advantage of cost averaging. So basically, cost averaging is regularly investing at a fixed amount in regular intervals of time over a long period of time. So in this case, when you invest, your money can buy fewer shares if the markets are up, and consequently, your money can buy a lot of shares when the market is low. So on the longer term, you are on average of your investments.
You said earlier longer term. Put this in a consistent, have it as a consistent practice.
The best time would be around 5 to 10 years.
What if you start and you realize that, wait, I don't really have much time left, I'm about to retire, etc. What is your advice then?
Since these are all retirees already, they can invest in conservative instruments like retail treasury bonds, treasury bills. Also, they can invest in what we call single pay VUL. In this case, these are insurance products. For a minimum investment of 250,000, they are already waived of medical. So even if they have diseases, given that they haven't been banned in the previous, like they have insurance and they have been banned, in this case, it would be advantageous for them.
How will they benefit from the compounding in that scenario? Or do they even benefit at that stage?
Yeah, their money will not go up as much as those ones who are young, because they don't have that much window time left. But still, they could take advantage of the compounding. And in this case, as I've said, the single pay VUL can be advantageous for them because they are already insured, and at the same time, they don't need any medical repercussions for them.
Okay.
Medical tests.
Let's talk about the why. I know you have some illustrations that help people appreciate better why compounding actually should be
Yes.
focused on or should be paid attention to.
There are two illustrations. One is option A, wherein it's delayed gratification. It's sacrifice now and enjoy later. The other one is option B, which is enjoy now and sacrifice later. That's instant gratification. In
Okay.
option A, which is delayed gratification, the investor invests 35,000 at 12% interest, bearing account for 6 years.
Okay.
So the investor invests 35,000 each year from age 25 up to age 30. Then he discontinued saving already. So he just let his money sit in that investment account. At age 50, he just laid out 210,000 in cash in investments, but the return has already accumulated to 3.068 million.
Wow.
As compared to option B, where the instant gratification, since he just want to enjoy his life
Immediately.
yeah. So from age 25 to age 30, he just enjoyed his life. And then from age 31, he started investing 35,000 until the age of 50. So from age 31 to age 50, started investing 35,000 every year. And then at the age of 50, the total cash outlay would be 700,000, but the total return would only amount to 2.8 million. So in this scenario, option A, which is the delayed gratification, is advantageous because the return is 244,000 more.
Wonderful. The first question is from John D. I'm 21 years old and a fresh graduate. Do I really have to start investing in things like retirement now? Or can I have short-term goals instead, like vacations with friends? And this delayed gratification principle, no?
Yeah, basically,
Tell
of
him.
course, the answer would be yes. The earlier, the better, because as I said, compounding is beneficial for those early starters. So as compared to the table a while ago, definitely if a person invested early, he could have more after a few years or after a long period of time as compared to the one who enjoyed his life first before investing.
But if you had to choose, because his money was limited, which one would you suggest? Stick with the retirement?
Stick with the
Forget the
retirement,
vacation?
but probably he could allot at least 5% of his income for, vacations and enjoying himself.
If it's enough for the
If
one
it's
that he
enough.
wants. If not, he has to scale down his lifestyle. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. Michelle asks, if I like to trade stocks frequently rather than invest in them for the long term, is this a bad strategy since I don't maximize the effects of compounding?
The answer would be yes. Trading stocks is definitely very risky, especially if you do it frequently. Even seasoned investors are falling into trap of losing money also in trading stocks frequently. So the most thing that he could do is invest for the long term. Anyway, stocks are there for long investment horizon, probably 3 to 5 years.
This is from Michael. I only learned about investing in recent years. I plan to retire soon. Can I still benefit from compounding it?
Even though he has a limited period of time because he is already retiring, he could also benefit from the power of compounding, but the maximum gains that his money can grow is limited as compared to the one who started young.
Is there any point wherein you will say that, well, you know what, since you have such a short window, you will not be able to benefit from the power of compounding at all?
Well, as I've said, it's better to invest now than later because of the time value of money. So even though she has limited period of time already, he can still take advantage of the power of compounding because still his money can grow with even a short period of time.
Okay. For example, I'm about to retire in a year. So there's not much room for compounding. Would it make sense for people to just look for alternate sources of income at that point rather than depending on possible investing or maybe stretching their earning life by not retiring that early? What would you suggest?
Yeah, that could be an option. Of course, multiple sources of income play at work here. Since Michael is already old, so probably he can do consulting jobs in order to augment his income. And then part-time, he could also teach, for example, in a school. So those are the things that he could do.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks again for your time, Tyrone.
Thank you.
That's our show today. I'm Edric Mendoza. Send us your money questions via email, Facebook, or Twitter, and view this episode again at anc.yahoo.com or at iwanttv.com.ph. Join us again tomorrow as we bring you more tips on how to save, invest, and manage your money. Thanks for watching.